Welcome to the Mad Empire team call. Today is February 18th, which means there's 10 days left, basically 10 days left in the month already. Like, how did that even happen? It was just my birthday. I don't know how it happened. But with that being said, I'm going to share my screen and just look at all these life changers so far this month. It's just unreal. And one of the best things I like seeing about this leaderboard this week, especially, is to see Genesee, I think I'm not butchering her name, but this is one of Madison's coaches, which is so cool when you see your coaches changing lives. That third level down in your downline changing lives. And the other day she texted me and was like, oh my God, I just can't even believe her name's on that leaderboard because it's such a deeper passion than just my coaches hitting success or just you guys hitting Success Club. It's different when your coaches are doing the same thing. So pretty freaking awesome. But just a big shout out, Alexa Davis, Courtney Jones, Caitlin Fior, Jill, Haley, Maria, and Genesee for changing one life so far this month. We still have 10 days. And then Chelsea for locking in Success Club for, I think, her third month in the last 4 months. I'm at Success Club 8, Nancy's at 8, Melina's at 8, and Madison is at Success Club 10 to make her officially a success starter, which we thought happened last month, but some stupid things happened because we all love it. But it's officially locked in now, and we have changed 27 lives so far in this month. Coach of the week is Madison, just because she is changing lives and her coaches are changing lives, and she's just seeing that ripple effect. She also is so stinking close to Diamond. I just feel it happening by the end of the month. So congrats, girlfriend. Just a few announcements. So it's week 3 of Team Cup. This might sound a little harsh, but there's some of you, and I get an email, who hasn't changed a life this month. There are some of you that signed up for a team and you're literally letting your team down because you haven't done anything. Maybe you said you're going to do it and you're posting just, the stock photos every day on your Instagram stories. And Simone's going to talk a lot about that stuff tonight. So I'm excited to hear her tips about like Success Club and, talking to people and inviting and all that. But be real. Like, you did this for a reason, and it's not just your personal business, right? You're on a team because you wanted to help the team, and so it's extra accountability. So do what you did and follow through with what you've been talking about. Also, like that promo codes, like we have those 3 promo codes. There's still pumpkin spice on the 18th of the month. There's still pumpkin spice. I sold a challenge pack today, and she still got pumpkin spice. $10 off, $150 for everything. Just speak that value on your stories every single day. Talking, open your mouth, all those things. 10 rounds is coming. So another incentive is that all coaches that are signed up by the beginning of March will get to access that first week of 10 rounds for free. So usually you have to buy early access and you get that first week. You get to try it for free, and it's going to be in your body count if you are considered a coach under Beachbody, which is super cool. And Joel just announced that when he was doing his bus tour last week, and someone was there and posted it in one of our teams. So that's pretty cool. And that early access will start going on March, I want to say it's like 16th or something like that. But I posted our 10 rounds prep calendar in our challenge group. And this is me at New Leaders Conference, just chilling on the 10 rounds bus. But still, I'm just so pumped for that program. And that's what I'm going to go into after Barbell ends next week. And then last thing is leadership retreat will be announced next team call. So next Tuesday, the 25th, when we have another guest speaker, Michelle Cahill, who's just a boss too, and I'm so excited to have her as well. So be there, mark it on your calendar, be on our team call next week. Okay, last thing before we get to Simone. So Chelsea recruited 3 girls in last week and hit Success Club, and I really want to start this going forward. So if you've done this too, congrats. But she's going to get coffee on me this week for just being our top recruiter, hitting Success Club, and running with it. So congrats. Now you can go get coffee at Starbucks or probably Dutch or whatever you have there in Oregon, and get some work done. So here we are. This is so exciting. I'm so pumped to have her on this call. The first time I met her, I was in Spain, and she was on a power hour with me and Cassidy. And I remember like hearing her voice for the first time, and I was like, wait, is this a joke? I'm like, this is so insane. She's just an awesome rock star, a part of a downline that is just killing it. And I met her at NLC just 2 weeks ago for the first time. And just the fire she speaks every single day and the motivation is just awesome. So take it over, Simone, and I am so excited to have you. Let me stop sharing my screen. There we go.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. That was one heck of a welcome. I was going to say, you remembered my voice, and I remembered that you were laying in bed drinking wine, and I was so jealous. I jumped on a team call last night as well, and a lot of people messaged through Instagram and were like, oh my God, I love your accent. I'm like, man, I felt like I was dropping really good stuff, and all they cared about was my accent. So, hey, it doesn't matter what I say tonight. I'll just say anything and we'll go with it. First up, you guys have a team of freaking amazing names. Like, I was looking at the names, and the spelling of them are so like quirky. It's awesome. And so many cool like celebrity last names. So well done you. I want to run today. I haven't written any notes or anything, like full confession, and I'm here in my pajamas. But I want to run tonight almost like a Q&A, or like have it like open house. So by all means chime in, or I'll make sure I have my chat up. So if you have questions, whatever, I can kind of bounce off that. So I think we wanted to discuss, based on your feedback, or invites, Success Club, and challenge groups. Is there anything in particular, like a particular route you want me to take? Like in challenge groups, I think the majority of conversations at the moment are between Facebook and Challenge Tracker. And if that's kind of where that question was aimed at, then I'm happy to touch on that, but I don't want to like waste your time if you had a different question.
I think it also, the challenge group could also be a little bit like, when is the right time to go away from your upline? Like, when do you start running your own challenge groups? And when do you know, like that, when do you feel like that's appropriate? That kind of thing.
Yeah. So that one's a tough one, because I feel like it's very much individual. So if you are a new coach and you're kind of enrolling friends, then I honestly say, like, get your own going right from the get-go, because if it's yourself and two friends, then you guys probably already have the energy, and you already have those personal jokes, and you already have like those similarities. So you could probably create a really impactful community group right from the start. But backstory about me and my accent is, I moved to the States 3 years ago. This is where my husband is from, but he was playing baseball over in Australia and was away from here for 10 years. So when we moved back, we literally knew nobody. So when I say I built this business from knowing nobody, I'm deadly serious. Like, my husband is enrolled under me as a coach, but that's as far as I had with my warm market. So my first enrollment were cold market, nobody that I knew. Actually, my first coach was from the UK. So for me, I wasn't going to start my own challenge group with, two people that I didn't know. I know nothing about them. So I did add them into my uplines. But as soon as I had, I want to say like 4 people, I shifted into my own. Reason being is that you feel like you have more control, and you can kind of guide it as you want. Like, I felt like I was having a lot of conversations behind the scene, like in DMs or in text messages, rather than it happening in the challenge group. And it's really interesting, because a lot of what people want to pick your brains about, whether it be nutrition or a program or mindset or anything, other people may have that same question. They're just not asking you it. Like, they're just not confident enough to ask. So I always encourage, like, unless it's an individual check-in where they're sharing photos and measurements and weight, everything goes into the challenge group. It's going to create like a little bit of momentum and allow people to see that it's an open opportunity to chat. But also, by the time I get back in to answer these questions, other people have already chimed in and said, well, this is what I do, or this is what I do. So it just creates a really good feel amongst it. But that's really up to the individual. Like, do you open your groups to your downline and they're allowed to add people in that to begin with? Yeah, so do I. So I normally say, if it's 2 of your friends, well then no, get out, do your own. Like, I'm happy to be in your group, and I'm happy to like do like a bird's eye and take a look and comment and create a little bit of community. But I think that's the best. If you could get 3 friends in there and really crush goals together, I think that'd be awesome. I usually have a theme for a month. So I personally love a good push, like 10 rounds I'm pumped about. Because when we did, I'm not doing bar blend, but when I did 6 weeks of work and we had like a massive influx of people and we're all doing it at the same time, and sure, we might fall a day behind, but then we get back into it. Like, it's just so good because we're all complaining about the exercises, like things a miler said, like it's just got a really good vibe. So I'm really looking forward to that again. And so my 10 rounds workout and my 10 rounds challenge group, I have like a revolving, I call it my sweat squad. So sweat with Simone, and everybody goes in there, regardless of what program they're doing. But when I do like a big push launch, it's a separate group as well. And that's really tailored just to those people. And I usually have a theme. So obviously with 10 rounds being really like blue and gray, all my graphics and things will be around that. And it will kind of to do with being like a badass because it's boxing and Joel. So that's all you really need. But yeah, does that kind of answer the challenge group questions? Does anybody have anything else? I took mine back to, so when I first started as a coach, I started on Challenge Tracker, and then I moved to Facebook because I do a lot of local community events. So I do a Sweat Squad meetup once a month, whether it be I have a studio in the back of my property. So whether I host a thing here or we had a Halloween boot camp and booze, you know, whether we do a brunch or whatever, recipe swaps, I try and do something every month. And Facebook is just so much easier to host an event and invite people to that. So I loved Facebook for that. I have this year shuffled back to Challenge Tracker just because I know what's in the works for bod groups. So if you're not familiar with Challenge Tracker, get in a group over on there, just so you can have a look around and see how it all works. And I think it's going to really, really help us in the next few months. So even though it might be a little bit stagnant now, kind of like persevere, because I think it's going to pay off in the long run. Let's talk Success Club. So what are there specific questions, or is it a mindset thing, or a little bit of all the above? Yeah, I have to agree with you because, and in fact, I think it's a little bit frustrating that the highest rank you can get for Success Club is 10, because I've been coaching now for will be 25 months this month, and this will be my 24th month at Success Club 10. And so in my mind, like, I needed to hit Success Club 10 because I've got this running, you know, like now I'm going to hit this next, you know, thing. But isn't it funny how like then I hit Success Club 10. So I hit Success Club 10 this morning, and it's kind of like, all right, now I can relax. Now I can really enjoy it. Like now I can, you know, get into the fun stuff and start creating more good. And it's like, why do we set that limit? Because if like I've set way higher in the past, like I've hit more than Success Club 10 in my time, like in a month. Like, why do we kind of settle at 10? Does anybody else kind of agree? Like you hit Success Club 5 or 10 or whatever your goal might be, and then you kind of just coast. Yeah, like 5 people, 3 people. It's funny how that happens. So in my mind, I'm like, if Beachbody had like a Success Club, I don't know, 20 or something, would we then all push for it because it's like another checkpoint? So I always have Success Club 10 as my non-negotiable. Like if I'm any less, well, I don't let myself. So what are some things that I do? Full transparency, in December of all months was my one where it was like New Year's Eve and I'm still working. Like it's 9 p.m. and I'm like, I can't believe I'm at Success Club 8. Like I am not going to drop 21 months at Success Club 10 this month. Like forget it. So, and you all know like, yes, I'm going to enroll in the first of the month. You're like, I cannot wait to the first of the month. Like this has to happen now. So I want to give you some tips and tricks and things like that might help you. Warm market. If you are pushing for a big goal or just to hit Success Club, to lock it in, you've got to think like even your follow-ups, and as important as they are, if you're following up from Instagram and they have never seen you in person, they don't know you, they're only trusting you so much. So what's going to make them seal the deal today rather than yesterday? Whereas if you go to now I'm a huge Instagram is where my followers are. Facebook I kind of use for personal stuff. Facebook is also filled with probably 85% Australians. So my warm market on Facebook is a little bit worn out as well. But everybody that I know here in the United States that would call me to have lunch, to come over, to go bowling, whatever it is, that would be on my Facebook. So they're people that know me personally or know me through a friend. And I've really only added them because we've been at an event together or at a party or whatever. Those people have seen me, they've talked to me, they've met me face to face. So when I offer something, it's almost like, it's like getting an invitation for a party. You know, like you can put it up on your Facebook, like, hey guys, I'm having a housewarming next week. Like, would love it if you could come. And like, granted, I might know you, but I wouldn't really think that I was like, you would miss me if I wasn't there. But to slide into the DMs and be like, hey, and say your name, like, you've probably seen my posts. I've got this new challenge group starting first of the year. You've got to get in. The results have been incredible. And if you're a new coach, you don't have to have results. You don't even have to use people from your team. Beachbody has a whole plethora of stuff in that coach office. Jump into your team page and just like grab from there and just make sure you ask the person before you post it, but use them. They're in DMs, so you can feel comfortable in that you're sharing them. And heck, say they're on your team. It doesn't even matter. I don't know. They're not going to get in there and be like, okay, where is Ruth Schroner? Like, no, doesn't matter. But your warm market almost trusts you more. They do trust you more. And then I also think as well is like they want to support you, like they want to please you. So if you're saying to them, like, especially as a new coach, like I can share my new coach, everything that I have my new coaches send in their first day is like, I'm starting this new thing. Like, I really want your support. I'd love it if you could do it with me. Like, it's only 21 days or whatever program you're choosing. And like, if you don't get the results, it's money back guaranteed. But if you do, I would love to use your photo and I'd love to hear what you think of it. And you should see like the amount of people, I'll still use that script to this day. Like, it's a new program. So it's like you're starting all over again. Like, I reached out to a lot of Bar Blend. I'm not saying it's only for pregnant people, but I reached out to a lot of my friends that were pregnant. Low impact, no jumping, 30 minutes a day, don't need any equipment, perfect. And I was like, hey, I've got this new program coming out. I'm not personally doing it because I'm already in the middle of another challenge group, but I really need some results. Like, you know, if you don't love it, don't stress. I'm giving money back, 30-day money back guarantee. But obviously if you do get the results, I'd really love to like share them. Sure. People like, sign me up. Like, I've got nothing to lose. What's 30 days? Like, and I always tell them, don't feel like you have to continue buying the supplements. But let's be honest, if they're using them every day for 30 days, they're going to want to continue them, you know? So, and especially if you're pouring in Shakeology stuff into your challenge group. And I must admit, I don't use the, you know, the back office, the coach office scripts, but I do make sure I follow a very similar strategy. So I know that they have one thing a week about mindset, one thing a week about Shakeology or a product, one thing about a transformation. And I do that. I do it a little bit differently in that I have like my member of the week, or my, you know, sweat sister of the week, or whatever you want to call them. But I do follow that because if it's working for such a big network, then it's got to work for me. But Success Club, if you're really pushing for it in a short amount of time, like, just go to your warm market straight away. Definitely still keep doing those reach outs. And I think as well as, like, don't be afraid to like cut to the chase. So what I mean by that is, so I've got a sample script here that I use. Oh, how good. This is my notes that I started taking today about tonight's call. Got really far, wrote down the 3 titles. Well done, Simone. Winner. Okay, so I just go like in my notes section, I have like all different points. So one says challenge group invites, coach follow-ups, coach invites, blah, blah, blah. And then I just click on it and I've got a whole plethora of different ones I can use. So I'm not kind of just using the same ones all the time. But if it's like end of the month, or even like now, we've got say like a week to go, don't feel like you have to continue to like breadcrumb them. Like, you don't have to hold conversations for 3 months before you invite them. And I know it is about creating like relationships, but anyone who's following you, like they think you're genuine friends. So as long as they're following you, I say invite them straight up, because you'll get a good feel for them then. So things like, I'll say, hey, actually I can copy and paste this in there. Hey, I noticed that you liked my recent coaching post. Thank you so much. I'm not sure if you're just being supportive or if it's actually something you're considering, but I think you look amazing and you're already inspiring so many people with your energy and positive posts. Like, I think you'd be awesome. And you think it's something that you would enjoy? ? And so many people write back to that, because all I'm doing is complimenting them. They're already following me, so I know they like my content. I'm either following them back if I've, already stalked their page. So then there's already like somewhat of a bond. And here I'm not saying like, you should be a coach too, join my team. I will never say like, join my team. I just think that's just flooded. But yeah. But saying things like, you're already doing the work. Like, you're literally already posting your fitness journey. And sometimes, like, I have a few different scripts and I can post them, but it's like, have you ever thought about turning like your passion into a paycheck? Because they're already doing it, they're just not getting paid. This is another one that I like to use. So I guess this kind of covers a little bit of inviting as well, but another one there, but just like, thank you so much. This is people who are just following your stories. Thank you so much for watching my stories and following along with my life and journey. I can't help but wonder, have you ever considered doing this with me? Or have you ever considered doing what I do? And the number one thing you'll get written back is, what is it you do? And you're like, perfect. Let me tell you what I do. I change lives. I'm here, create world peace. I feel like I'm going to cough. Hang on 1 minute. That opens up so many opportunities, because in my mind, I'm then going to say, well, essentially I host accountability pods for women like me who want to get fit and healthy. But I also mentor coaches or mentor others who kind of want to start a business out of it, because I've had so much success with this. I want to pay that forward. And so then it's two different things. People are hearing about your challenge group and they're hearing about your coaching opportunity. So then if they're certainly not interested in coaching, or if they have those limiting beliefs, a lot of the time they're like, well, I probably couldn't coach, but that sounds really interesting. Like, tell me more about your challenge groups. So then you've kind of like undersold, but you've given another opportunity. And then I always just say, like, what do you mean you couldn't coach? Like, what do you think you're doing when I'm a personal trainer. I follow a lot of people who are either in the fitness field, like back end there, and then, or people who are already kind of fitfluencing, like are already posting a lot of their videos. I kind of target in on that, because a lot of my coaches are in a similar situation to me. I was personal training when I moved here. I was a teacher in Australia, so I started something completely new, knew nobody, super hard to build my clientele, got offered this, thought, I'm just going to find out how they do it and then probably replicate it myself and quit. Had success, quit my job in the gym 6 months later, bought my own studio, opened up my own, and now I do both. I literally work 12 hours a week. My husband and I were laughing, we went to the tax man because I'd like doubled my income, and I work like, I can't even call it part-time. I wish I could call it part-time. So for me, I'm like, I want to gift that to every other personal trainer out there, because life can be so much better than waiting around for leads. So that's kind of where I target and where I share. If the people that you're following and the people that you're targeting are not already doing what we do, think about other things that they do in the business. Like, are they sharing recipes? Are they doing their like grocery haul? Are they busy mums who are sharing how they fit in, at the playground and, cook, just trying to do a million one things? Because there's so many, like, there's no mold for a coach. And I don't know if you've already shared about NLC, but when I was there and I was looking around, and I thought to myself, like, there's no cookie cutter for a coach. We all look completely different. We're all completely different body shapes. We're all from different walks of life, from different professions. And I just love that. So the next person that you enroll could be the next top 10 coach. And that's so exciting to me. Yeah, invites, any questions, mums? I know, mums here are flowers, which sucks. I know. Today I got yelled at for a wardrobe. A question I like to, apparently you guys call them closets. Good to know. 3 years in, I'm still living my Aussie life. A question I like to ask successful coaches, what is something you would go back and change when you need a coaching now? What would I go back and change?
Like if you could do it again, how would you have started differently? Or is there something that you wish you would have known from the get-go? Something like that.
Yeah. I wouldn't have put people into a box. So I wouldn't have looked at their profile and been like, well, she already drives a BMW. Like she doesn't need $50 for an enrollment, because who's to say that she's miserable? Or and that's the thing, like I hate to say that, like you don't have to hate your life. Like I love my life. I loved what I did. I still love what I do. But like this just, it gives you so much more. Like there's so much more to life. So there's no reason why you can't add in something new, you know? So in my mind, just like invite everybody, ask everybody. And really quite powerful NLC, one of the speakers, like this stunning blonde, amazing woman. I can't remember her name, which is really bad. But when she started working for Beachbody, she like looked in all of her followers and people who were following her and tried to find a Beachbody coach. And she found one and asked, like reached out to them and said, how come you never asked me what not to become a coach? Like I'm hearing about how you build your business and you never asked me. And they said to her, like, oh, you're already skinny and you already have a good job and you like, you know, you've got everything you want, like you're all good. And little did they know that she'd been suffering from an eating disorder for majority of her life. And just was pretty much, and that just spilled into every aspect of her life and was miserable. And it's like, God, how this could have saved her, you know, or how she could have learned earlier. So yeah, invite for sure. Something else is that I wouldn't undermine Beachbody, because when I came in, I had never heard, like I didn't hear of Beachbody. It's not a thing back home. So like I just went for it. I was like, yeah, I'm a Beachbody coach. And yeah, I was telling anybody who would listen. Like when I got my very first like Success Club shirt, or I think it was when I finished a program was my first one. Like I would wear it grocery shopping and like try and help people with their grocery baskets, because I didn't know it was an MLM. And even to this day, like I don't let that kind of hold me back. And now even when people will, you know, like we went to our family reunion on Saturday and one of Scott's cousins was like, so like, are you affiliated with something or is it just, I'm like, yeah, with Beachbody. Because the more people hear about what we're doing and like we can get that name out there and it makes it a really strong name. Yeah, just be ruthless, like own it. It's there.
I love that. If you want to maybe just finish with like, what was your biggest takeaway from NLC? Because I shared mine with them last week. So I don't know if there was anything that you shared with Ruth's team call or whatever about NLC.
Yeah, did you talk about the gentleman who was a police officer?
Oh, I did not.
Okay, so that's like the only thing that stayed. I don't know anybody's names in this thing. Like if you're not Joel, I don't know. Like we walked past the bar girl and I didn't even know who it was and everyone started taking photos. Were you with me for that one? No. Yeah. And I was like, I couldn't tell you who she is.
She said hi to me and you're like, who is that? I'm like, oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
No clue. Like it's how bad I am. I need to start paying more attention. But there you go. This guy stood on stage, and I'll keep it really short because I know time's pressing, but he basically said he was a police officer, 3 beautiful kids, wife, nice house, loved his job, loved his life, got into an accident at work. He didn't really go into that, but it basically left him, he couldn't work. And he found like he had no purpose in life because he didn't know what else he was going to do. He was like almost like paralyzed, so he couldn't really even help his daughter pour orange juice into a cup. Like he could physically see that the cup was overflowing, but he couldn't stop his hand from pouring the juice. And, you know, he couldn't drive anywhere, so his wife was working double jobs to cover his wage, driving him to every doctor's appointment, taking the kids to school like mayhem. And he got to the front door one day and tied on his boots and told himself that he was like his family was better off without him, and he was going to go and kill himself. And thank goodness, whatever it was stopped him. And he just basically lay in bed for weeks on end. And one particular day, his wife came in and said, "That's it. I bought us a program. It's on the television. We're going to go down into the basement and we're going to work out." And he was like, "Okay, if this is the one thing that I can do for her, then I'm going to do it." She's doing everything else in this household. So the next day they get up, he goes down to the basement. They choose 80-day obsession, which blew my mind. Longest workout ever. But he pressed play. He got through 6 minutes and then he was in too much pain. He couldn't finish. But he showed up every day for 80 days and he lost, I think it was like 30 or 40 pounds and just changed his life. And like on my Instagram, in my IG, like TV, I actually post about this afterwards and I'm just like a hot mess because I'm just like, oh my God. Like we have no idea. Like we want this for other people because they want to lose weight or because they want to be part of a community. But how often do you hear that they need this because they need to save their own life? Like that just moved me. He was a coach from Canada. I think he might be premier, but he spoke really well and really moved me. And I just thought, like, that's what I'm about. Like, I want a challenger that I can save. So, yeah, that really stood out.
Chills. Whenever I hear stories like that, it gives me chills because it's like people want to bash MLMs, like you said, all the freaking time. And it's like, but they don't hear those stories, right? They hear, oh, you get auto-enrolled on Shakeology and it just keeps sending to you. And they don't realize it because they're not doing the work. Where this guy woke up one day and was like, I'm going to just do it. And it was like 6 minutes, 8 minutes, 10 minutes. He finally got through 60 minutes, but it's just pretty insane what we have.
Yeah. And like, you just think like his wife just bought it. She probably bought it through an infomercial. So they probably paid like $100. And so they've literally transformed their life, saved their marriage and their kids. They've got a dad at home and he can finally go back to part-time work this year in his job, all because of $100. And it's just like, wow. So the next time someone tells you it's too expensive, it's like, really?
Amen. All right. Well, thank you so much. Does anyone have any last minute questions? I think that was like the best way to end it with just such an impactful story from this amazing opportunity.
Are there any brand new coaches on this call tonight? Like this month?
There are.
Okay. After this ends, Maddie, I'm going to text you a script that I have all my new coaches send to 10 of their friends. Just basically ask for the support to join. And I encourage you, if you like it and you want them to share it, then I encourage you to do it. It's usually good.
That's awesome. All right, let's take a quick pic really quick, and I'll let you guys have the rest of your night back. Smile. Cute. All right. Thank you guys so much for spending your time with us. I appreciate it. Thank you, Simone. You're the best. And
welcome.
I enjoyed her accent. Bye.